Hey guys, this is Rhett, aka Trim here. I wanted to do a little mini video blog here real quick. You guys may have heard by now. If not, definitely check it out. The SleepyTime podcast I did for you guys. Where I was just tired from working really hard on the site and business and the book and everything. Right now we're about 2 days away from launching the site, which is extremely exciting. You'll notice behind me right there is a sign that says, "Please wake me up." No, wake me up, please, no matter what. Thank you, much love, Trim. Johnny Boy's going to be here in about an hour and a half at most. So before I do that, I'm going to call my mom and say hi to her real quick. And before I did that, I wanted to give you guys a little mini video blog, because I think it's a little bit different coming at you guys with a video versus just hearing the audio. I know it's a really slow podcast to get through and listen to, so if you did listen to it start to finish, I appreciate that. It's definitely, I feel like there's some good stuff at the end there. I don't really remember right now, but now the site's like 2 days away from launching, and just been working nonstop on the site, school. I'm about to go to Atlanta for a sales competition next weekend. So I've been doing that, a lot of meetings with that, and getting all that kind of good to go, which at the same time we can kind of cross-promote and see what we can't do about doing a little marketing. So, definitely one of those video blogs where, as we mentioned, delivering things differently than other firms. You're not going to see this on any other firm that I found, and if you do, let me know. My bet would be they probably just found it before you and recreated this. That's bad. No. As unprofessional as it may come across as, I personally feel more of an obligation to you guys to expose you to what goes into what we do and how passionate we are about it. When I was an intern for my last internship that I did the past couple summers, they showed a video. It's actually on YouTube. I highly recommend it. Secrets to Success Part 1. And the guy's talking about being successful and want success as bad as you want to breathe. Then you'll be successful. And then he goes on to give some stories about how he talked to, or I don't know, different stories of 50 Cent. It's like, 50 Cent, like, when do you sleep? And you'll see this if you watch it. And I guarantee it's worth the 4 minutes you'll invest in it. One of the most motivational things that I've seen was like, sleep is for those people who are broke. Which is like really motivational to me, but at the same time it's really not it's not as much of a money thing. But then he goes on to talk about Beyonce when she was working on something. And I remember this pretty vividly in my mind, because he was like, she didn't sleep for 3 days, and she forgot to eat because she was just on the set, too busy working on different things and doing that. And I was like, it's motivational, but I don't know if I necessarily believe that. Like, how do you not, like, eat, right? Everybody gets hungry. No, I believe it. I don't even, honestly, I don't know when I ate last, and I can't trace them back. I think I got like an hour of sleep, if you wouldn't call it that. This is really me laying with all this last night. And then before that, I think it was like 2 nights before that, where I got an hour and a half. And I remember that because Bane came over and kind of had me on a timer there, because we were going to do our thing. Same thing tonight. We're going to go out here in about an hour and a half, and go and interact and keep doing what we're doing. But I wanted to do a mini video blog to kind of illustrate to you guys, not necessarily what it takes to be successful, because I feel like that's just driven into everybody's head, and there's so many videos, like I said on YouTube, that one, which I, again, watch it, it's worth your time. But I'm not here like saying, oh, you want to be successful, you gotta be like me and just be like tuckered out and filming video blogs while you're about to fall asleep. That's not what it's about. It's like, I wanted to come to you guys to show you like a level of absolute maximized happiness, as we talk about on the site, and like what it means to find that. I'm trying to find the best angle here. I don't think I'm gonna necessarily look best at any of them. When you find a job, like for me right now, I've been tired so much for the past like 5 months, right? Because I've been just working nonstop on everything. And it's almost like a level of addiction. Like, you get to that point, like, nothing feels better than right now to me. Like, you can probably notice, like, I'm having a hard time keeping my eyes open. And if I'm being completely honest, the light's kind of making things a little blurry, but where I'm at right now is almost like how I get my satisfaction in life, because like I know I'm doing like when my eyes shut before I hit the pillow, like when they can't stay open anymore and my mind's still going, and I'm like, oh, I need to remember that, like for tomorrow, to write it down. That right there is like a level of success. Whether I sell one seat in a seminar or 1 million across the country, one boot camp, 1 million boot camps. Whether my book is published or I gotta go through 1 million people. Right now, I'm successful. Because I know that I'm doing everything I can in my power to pursue it. And so if I'm doing everything I can, which I believe I'm doing, to pursue this dream of mine, if it's not coming into fruition, despite failure, adversity, all these things that might just pop up in my life, and I'm still doing this night after night after night, right? Then I'm still attaining a level of success. At least personally, this is my belief, and within my heart, because it's like, if I'm where I'm at right now, and you guys can kind of see it, and I do this for 20 years. Just don't give up. Failure, success, don't matter. When you go to bed knowing that you gave everything you had to accomplish something, whatever your dream is, or whatever it is that you are seeking out to accomplish each day, whether that's raise your children, if you're pursuing that with volition and just a fierce, passionate volition, I'm tired, then you're successful. If you're going to bed each night knowing that you're maybe going to get an hour or 2 hours sleep, and it's not like you have to go to bed every night tired like I'm at right now. You can get a full 8 hours. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, when you lay your head down on the pillow, if you know that you've done everything in your power to contribute to your dream within the time frame of, because we're all on a time frame. We are. That's the circle of life, right? Lion King. So, if you lay your head down and you know you've done everything in that time frame to accomplish and push yourself closer to attaining that goal, I gotta tell you guys something. Enough times of putting your head down on a pillow, example-wise, as tired as this, you're gonna attain that goal. Fun fact, though, when you do, you're gonna find another one that keeps getting your head back down on that pillow to where your eyes are open. You're like, I need to do more. When your body stops you before your mind does, you're doing something right. And it's not necessarily you need to go out and do that in that sequence of events. It's the mindset of going out and pursuing something with that much vigor and like just, I want that. We all have something in our lives, and a lot of people, I feel like, lately I've been doing a little bit of a social experiment and interacting with a lot of people and finding out what their dreams are and their ambitions, because I feel like when I share mine, it's a positive response, because it's like, oh, well, that's like really ambitious or whatever. Like, I don't expect everyone to understand it, but at the same time, the mere fact that I'm pursuing it with such a ferocious, I'm going to do this, then it's like I get this almost saddening look for me out of individuals, because like, oh wow, like this guy's actually, good for him. But at the same time, it's like I wish I could pursue my dreams, whatever that may be, with that much force and acceleration. Or as you can tell, my diction's gone right now. But the way I see things in life right now, and I'm sure I've said this on another podcast, and I say this a lot actually when I'm really talking about my dreams and things, and I feel like there's not a better time than right now. I love K-State. They've molded me into the individual, helped, and supplied me with so many tools that I've used and have aided in the development of my book. But right now, on my last home stretch of it, there is a mindset to where it's like, here's the degree, which I'm going to get, admittedly more for other reasons than what I'm going to do. But this is because here's the way I see it. Like, you get a degree and you get a job, and then I feel like a lot of individuals, and I didn't want to fall into this system of just a lot of, hold on, fix this real quick. A lot of individuals everyone has a dream, everyone has a passion, something they want to do with all their heart, and then you look out and you see these celebrities or these people that are just the best at what they do, and you're like, well, how can they be that amazing at it? And it's not that they were born or brought into this world with more talent, or it's not, it used to be bloodline. Back in the day, that's how our power kind of transpired down, is, through bloodline, you were related to someone, and you were just given this right. And so, if you're the worst painter in the world, but you love to paint, every picture you paint in became the new standard of what people should paint, right? And so, therefore, you were kind of socialized to believe that you were awesome. So, and that's actually, when we talk about social barriers and norms, that's how a lot of them got created, is through bloodline of religious hierarchy. But so now it's to a point where it's like, what separates these individuals? And I believe full-heartedly, and I talk about this in the first Extemporaneous podcast when I talk about being famous and the steps of being famous, and I think it boils down to, we're all given the exact same thing. Not necessarily aesthetically, which there is a differential, and we're going to do a podcast over that very, very soon. Because being comfortable in your own skin, we all have this belief that people hire more attractive people, or attractive people do better, and statistically that's true. But what statistics will show you a lot of things. Statistically, the people that look better, that are doing better, have been conditioned throughout their entire life, you look better than everyone else. And so I want you to imagine back to the royalty example. You can be the ugliest person in the world, but they're royalty, so everybody's going to be like, oh, you're beautiful. Now, do you think that individual, because they really aren't beautiful, is going to have less success even if they weren't royalty? Being told that their entire life? It's all about social conditioning, socialization, and how we're implementing these thoughts into our own self. And what's beautiful about it is, you may think that's lifelong. Well, my entire life I've been told this, so it's a little late now. No. We have the technologies. We have the power now to adjust this no matter where you're at, because it's all about just taking who you are and owning it. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I'm laying here with my eyes about to fall, and like, you just gotta be confident in yourself. And like, really, like, that's all it is confidence. You have to love who you are, and especially if you're looking to go out and do anything in a relationship. And I learned this firsthand, believe me. My first love of my life, I don't think she loved who she was as much as she needed to. And I was just madly in love with her. You have to love who you are. You don't know Rhett, and you guys are going to get to know me quite well, and you're going to see, I'm sure, flaws as well as the positives, and we're going to see that with everybody. It starts with understanding that everybody, they can be a bona fide, quote-unquote, 10, guy or girl, by the way. Everyone has flaws. We're all bred from the same genes, right? And aesthetically, no matter what you look like, I mean, you're here, which means that your traits are a composition of favorable traits that have been passed on because you have the highest chance of surviving. And in the dog-eat-dog relationship world, which we'll get into even more in depth later on, we'll kind of go over some of this, but like, just in a nutshell, aesthetically, if you're not self-confident, you look out and you're like, well, I don't know how, like, my traits are favorable, look at, they're just so pretty, or this, or this, or this, we make a little excuses for ourselves. You're here for a reason. All of us. So, I mean, when you internalize that and realize that, it doesn't matter what you look like, it doesn't matter your skin color, your age, ethnicity, what matters is your understanding that it starts with, I understand everybody has their flaws, right? Excuse me. From there, you adapt the understanding that you adapt an acceptance for yourself, no matter what you look like, who you are. Side of my mouth, a little bit higher than the other all the time when I talk, especially when I smile. You accept things. And you own them. And I'll tell you something. Whatever your little thing may be, whether it's the Elvis lip or something else, once you accept it and you love it, and you say, hey, that's a part of who I am, and the people that I want to spend my life with are going to love it too. Once you get that mind frame and you internalize it, you just get this love for yourself, and that's really what it boils down to. It's just a love for yourself, not an egotistical, I'm better than anyone. No one's better than anyone. No one. I don't care if you're a king on a throne or a peasant in the street. No one's better than anybody. It's just social barriers that we're teaching you how to overcome, because they don't need to be there anymore. When I say social revolution, I'm not saying we need to go out and just start picketing societies or governments or anything like that. When I say social revolution, I'm talking our generation acting as the catalyst for our children, their children's children, and so forth. But it's got to start somewhere. It starts here. And all we're going to do is, by living our lives at a maximized level of happiness, because we have full social mobility, it's contagious. You ever walk into a room with a smile, and then 5 minutes later, the whole room's just smiling? Same thing with a frown. You walk into a Christmas party, and you're upset. Next thing you know, everybody's the Grinch, right? It's all contagious, and all we're doing is acting as the catalyst, and we're going to reap the benefits too, because our lives, we're now completely socially mobile. I'm not saying, when I say social revolution, I'm not saying we're all going to go out and just be like, hey, this isn't, that's not that. It's revolutionizing by being the first to start something that is ultimately what's going to be adapted by our entire society. Right now, we're actually at the advantage, because you and I, by adapting this, we need those individuals who aren't mobile to throw those pressures and judgments on us, because really that's what's going to empower us and give us all these forms of success. And in the book, I talk about how my technologies are the most advanced and up-to-date for our day-to-day. But society's ever-growing, right? So will the technologies. But I feel like what I'm giving you guys right now is already like a step ahead, and is probably going to be implemented for the next 3 to 5 years. And by that point, we'll have another book or more technologies. I love sociology, and I love interacting with people, getting to know people, and just seriously, I love doing what I do. See, even in the background, the whiteboard, the coffee maker. This is my room, by the way. Computer desk, all that good stuff. I don't know anybody else that's 22 years old that comes home after school. It's like, I have some free time. What do I want to do with it? Sit and write? Really? But I want you guys to understand that the level of passion I was talking about earlier, because you all have it with the different things. And no matter how someone might look at it, take like a step back and look at the situation of what I'm trying to do, and think about the reactions I've gotten when I've tried to share that at a passionate level. There's always going to be people that are saying, no, that's crazy, or why would you want to do that? It's not that it's a crazy dream. There's no such thing as a crazy dream if it's promoting the betterment of humankind in one way or another. But people are going to throw them out anyway. Part of it is because they didn't follow through on their dream. And that is sad. But by you overcoming that, being like, hey, sorry, dude, like, or girl, and you just show a level of passion, no matter how much perseverance they throw in your face. You know, 9 times out of 10, they go home and the next day, say their passion is drawing. Next day they wake up and they draw themselves a picture. Your passion is contagious, especially when it gets to a level of action. And that's really what it takes for it to... I mean, I've talked about doing things for a while, but once you take it to a level of action, like, it's a whole new world, because now all of a sudden, when you talk about it, people are going to throw that perseverance in your face. But when you're acting on it, tenfold, trust me, you were just like, no, I worked my ass off on this. Like, you know what? If I publish this book and it becomes firewood for someone, so be it. But I'm going to sleep at night knowing I did what I'm here to do. I always talk about one person. If one person reads my book and takes something from it, even if it takes me 100 years to write, then it was worth every second. And I mean that. So, it's about delivering that passion. And like, just sticking with it. Like, you're going to get that perseverance. I'm really trying to remember what topic we were on before I got off topic. What were we talking about? Oh man, I wish I was Skyping right now because you guys could tell me. By the way, on the website, the open chat, and then we're going to start doing like live micro boot camp kind of things where you guys can all just, as a free member, absolutely free, I love you guys, just sign on, and we're going to try and set up a system to where we can just live video chat and open questions, all that good stuff. It's just going to be awesome. It's really, I mean, the sites, you guys are going to hear me talk a lot about, like, how things have never been done or whatever, but, like, really, honestly, my hands fall asleep. Who else is, like, I'm not just saying that to float my own boat. I'm really not. I'm just trying to emphasize how there's absolutely no harm of joining the site. And originally, all the writings I was going to post, and you might even hear this occasionally in like older material, but originally all that stuff was going to be a newsletter, anything written like that. And I decided I don't want to email you guys like that because that could deter people away from the site of always just trying to market things or just sell more stuff. I mean, I'm honest, dude. You guys know me. Like, if I'm trying to sell you something, I'll tell you straight up. Like, we have 3 things that we're offering for sale: one-on-one, boot camps, and seminars. That's it. Well, until the book gets released, but even that's in the negotiation. I'm getting it as affordable as possible for like I said, I'd rather it be in the hands of I'd rather spend my life savings and have my book in the hands of every person on the planet than have it in the hands of one who paid me like $5 million for it, if that makes any sense, you know. I'm just that guy. I mean, money's money, really. That's the other thing, too, kind of to go off tangent. Like, we all need it to survive, yeah, but money is money. It's not even correlated to happiness or anything we try to preach, if you will. It catches on fire. If you can catch money on fire, you can be gone like that, right? So I don't really lend anything to anybody unless I just expect. Every time I lend something, it's like I decide in my mind to just give it to them, and then if it comes back to me later, it's kind of like a little bonus to myself, you know, like, cause it's just like, oh, free money, kind of like a sunk cost, if you will. It's money. It's money. And people think that's crazy because we're so driven by it. But really, I understand the purpose and the power and the reasoning behind it. And I mean, we all want nice things, and let's be honest. I mean, there are those people out there who don't have nice things, but I think we all want nice things for ourselves. And I think what's corrupted money is the fact that the reciprocity. But that's another podcast for another 5 podcasts for another day. Well, I want you guys to just understand about that. Watch that video I mentioned earlier. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a preview into 30 minutes. I'm going to sleep for like 15 minutes. Maduro's going to walk in that door. And that time behind me, wake me up no matter what. He's going to... I talked to Big Papa Rob earlier, and I was like, so you're giving me permission to throw water? And, yeah, just don't get any of my books dirty. Or wet, rather. If anything in this podcast that it's probably the ramblings of a really tired dude. But I want to just kind of list off a couple bullet points of things that I really full-heartedly hope I accomplish. Right? Number 1, after listening to this, if you're still here, thank you. Really. And thank yourself. Because you're doing what it takes to reach a level of your life that's so far. I can't even put into words. I feel like it would be such an easy industry or product to sell and make money off, all this good stuff in a business sense. But you can't. I can't put it into words. A level of happiness, because it means something different to you, to me, to Maduro, to each of us. It's a little bit different. And we have the fundamental principles, which is why we're not saying here's how to be happy. We're saying here's how to gain control over your every aspect of your life and get social mobility, balance, so you can allow yourself to be happy, because we all have to have the same things set in place, no matter what each of our happiness may be. But I hope after listening to this, it's an understanding of no matter what, and this, I guess, bullet point number 1, no matter what, no matter how tired you are, no matter how many people laugh, or how many people say, that's stupid, or how many people say, you'll never do that. No matter how many blank stares you get, no matter how much money you lose, no matter how much money you gain. Bullet point number 1, you follow your dream. And that may sound cliche. I don't care. And I mean that. I don't care if you buried it away years ago. You dig it out. Today. Right now. If your dream is drawing, and you're just as tired as I am, check this out. It's a stick figure. How long did that take me to draw? I don't care what your dream is. If it's drawing and you think you're tired, start it. You start whatever it is right now. Even if it's just writing your name on a piece of paper saying, tomorrow I'm going to do this small step. I don't care who's gotten in your way, whatever obstacles you've had. Because I promise you, there's not a feeling in the world this. Nothing more beautiful than laying in your bed with a jug of water behind you because your mouth's dry because you've been up so long, with a sign for your friends to make sure they wake you up, wearing a tie. There's nothing like laying in your bed, exhausted from working so hard to accomplish what you want to do. And above that, what you want to do, having that not be your job, but your dream. Your dream. And I know there's always those people. And there's going to be those people that are sitting there like, well, yeah, it's easy for you to say, like, I promise you, one day I will be successful at the things I want to be successful at in life. And this will be looked upon and be like, well, that's easy for him to say he's successful. I don't care what year it is. I'm a senior in college. Bank account empty. Starting a company. No money for marketing. I can go on. Nothing's easy. Nothing's easy. But you gotta have that passion, that drive. And when you go to bed, or you lay your head down, or you wake up in the morning even, with nothing on your mind but I'm doing everything I can to accomplish what I want to do. Like I mentioned earlier, I come home after school, do schoolwork, and then I'm doing this. Work. It don't feel like work. I'm smiling every second of the way, every step. Because that's how much this means to me. And so you find something that means so much to you. That's bullet point number 1. Because I guarantee you, that's a large part of what's going to determine the overall quality of your life. And it's, mind you, it don't have to be a career either. If you work a 9 to 5, because that's where your life is at. I'm about to be there too, actually, in a week or two. Good, do it. What matters is, it doesn't have to be your career. What matters is that when you come home, you don't give up on your dreams. You still pursue them. With volition. With adamant cause to just accomplish them. And you hold yourself accountable for that. You guys notice how I'm more awake right now? See how just by talking about my dreams and my passions and trying to help you guys accomplish yours, I can wake myself up because I'm that excited about it. You need to find what does that for you. Not need to and sound so preacherish. I'm not trying to. Like I say, I'm tired and B. These are my beliefs. It just so happens that since I've transformed my beliefs into technologies, they seem to work. It's not cocky if you back it up, right? Bullet point number 2 out of tonight's video blog, which is about to go on 40 minutes. What was point number 2? Man, you guys throwing me off course here. Bullet point number 2. Is this. I'm going to make one up right now. This is kind of an extemporaneous speech because I can't even remember. I'm that out of it. Because I feel like my bullet point number 1 was like all of them combined, so now I'm just jumping to number 2. And seriously though? Okay, boundary set. No matter what you choose on your path, success, relationships, etc., this quote-unquote social revolution that we're doing. And yeah, it's a bit of a buzzword and a bit catchy, and it is true, but at the same time, people think of all these classic revolutionaries, movies, V for Vendetta, all this other stuff. Think of it more as the individuals, ourselves, as the individuals that are I tried to use an American history reference, but every one I did, there's multiple sides to the party. I was going to use railroad, and I was like, no, Civil War, and all this other stuff, and I was going to use, well, for damn, and I was like, no, that's because then there's multiple sides to that too. What we're doing right now is just laying a system down for the next generation, which is going to grow it far beyond what I'll ever see, as upsetting as that may sound, because it's interesting to see how advanced this stuff is for free, and see it working, but still have the capacity of understanding to know that we're always changing, and so that too will change. So I think it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening there. But right now we have to, I'm sure you've heard the phrase change as it's been used politically multiple times. I wouldn't say we have to change. I would say we have to start. Because change implies that we've already put something in motion and it's not going the way we want. We need to redirect it into a way we want. Really, we've put up all these social barriers, and we could change by putting up different ones, or we could just start by building a system that's not placing judgments or barriers on anything. And that's what we're going to do. So bullet point number 2 for this podcast, and this might be the last one because I'm exhausted. Bullet point number 2. Don't be afraid of tomorrow, because tomorrow is today. It's going to happen no matter what. We're just accelerating the process and taking advantage of the fact that we now know how it's going to happen. By knowing how it's going to happen, we can use that to our advantage. And we can live lives of just this magnificent, beautiful, voluptuous existence of happiness. And it's I'm telling you guys, like I said, I live for this, going to bed like this, and getting my 30 minutes to an hour of sleep, and then waking up and doing it all again. And I wouldn't do this if it wasn't, but this is my level of happiness. It's like, how can each day of your life get better than the one before it? Since 2012, the first day of 2012, we came up with that. Not necessarily as a marketing strategy, but we were like, you know what? It's always kind of been what we strive to do, and especially as you're reading my, if you read my Illuminator page, you'll see in that. But I feel like in the camera it looks like I'm wearing a bow or something. I don't know. But we decided to actually take that a step further and actually present it to you guys in that form of happiness of every day better than the one before it. Like, well, that's a pretty big promise. And I sat on it for about 30 seconds. That's all it took. Because I looked at every other person that has used my technology, our technologies. And that's what it is. That's what it boils down to. Every day of their life has been better. It just builds upon it and builds upon it and builds upon it and builds upon it. And you may have a day that might be an off day or whatever, or sickness or whatever. It's never worse. It's just the exact same. You get to this point where you're just like, how is my day today better than yesterday? I'm 2 days away from launching my website versus 3. I just filmed a 45-minute video blog that was supposed to be a mini video blog whilst about to pass out. It's like 10 o'clock maybe. My night's about to start and I'm at this level. I've already accomplished this. Website fully functional. Cross-promoted with a couple different platforms. Had a sales meeting in which I interacted with some individuals that went very well, and interacted with, on a more personal level, a very, very lovely young lady. So, every day. Every day. And if there's ever a question of it, is today better than yesterday? I really don't feel like you're going to mind, because it means you weren't having a bad day, and it sure as heck wasn't worse than yesterday if you're trying to compare it and figure it out. That's usually not how it works. It's usually, yes, it's a lot better than yesterday. 46:05. 46 minutes and now 10 seconds. Trim is out. I'll rewatch some of this tomorrow. I know it's a long time for you guys to watch, so if you're still with me, I want you guys to know sincerely how much I appreciate it. And everything you guys are doing to just help us out. And the people that are watching the full thing are the same individuals I know in my heart that are just out there on the forums, chatting, interacting, and helping other people accomplish what they want to in life. And by helping ourselves, we help other people, right? So it's a beautiful thing, and I respect that, and commend that, and thank you for that. And wish you all the best until I can see you and meet you. We're going to do a lot of meet and greets and different things coming up. We'll go over promos here really soon. But I love you guys. I'm going to catch me 30 minutes of sleep. I'm going to be up doing some live interaction and coupled with just some kind of infield research and some different things. So Trim is going to bed for a good 30 minutes or so. I love you guys.